What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet. This is part of my rambling series. It's my vlogging series in which I talk about myself and life and the universe and the things around us that are particularly interesting to me, specifically how that stuff impacts me. This is a very narcissistic, self-centered series that I've always done. So if you're not interested in hearing about my life and the way things that are impacting me, I recommend you don't watch this video. Watch a different video instead. There's plenty of good stuff to watch here on the channel. So I'm starting to get into my third week of self-isolation. The only reason I left the house in those last 3 weeks, almost a month now actually, was once to take this dog out to get groomed because he desperately needed it. Other than that, we have not left the house, I guess, in 2.5 weeks, 3 weeks. We got all the supplies that we need. I do have my best friend and my roommate who will go out into the world to buy groceries and things along that lines, but I'm completely self-isolated, and I bet you're probably doing the same thing if you can. I hope that you are. Now, as I said earlier, it's very easy for me to stay at home because I work from home and I have a very nice home that I get to stay in. I know a lot of people are making some big sacrifices to stay at home, and if you're one of those people, let me tell you how much I personally appreciate you doing that. Because here's the thing. I'm very fortunate to have a nice home. I'm very fortunate to work from home, but some of you had to give up your job. Some of you got fired. Some of you got let go. Some of you are staying in small apartments that don't have a lot of room, and you're stuck in there with other people. There are people out there making really big sacrifices to stay at home right now, and God knows we need to give those people our love. And I'll tell you something else that drives me crazy. I cannot stand these celebrities who live in multi-million-dollar homes with bowling alleys and swimming pools and all of this fantastic stuff, telling me they're in this together with us. No, you're not. You're not even in that with me. I don't have a swimming pool. I don't have a hot tub. I don't have all this luxury that you guys have. And then imagine the person that's out there stuck in a small one-bedroom apartment completely alone, who's self-quarantining to try to keep other people from getting sick. You have no idea what that's like, Kim Kardashian, and you never will, so don't tell me you're in this with them. You have no fucking clue. That shit drives me crazy. Another thing, if I'm going to complain in this episode, another thing I really am annoyed by is a lot of these companies advertising, even advertising on my videos, maybe even advertising on this video, talking about the coronavirus, because I feel like they're kind of carnivores at this point. I think they're kind of vultures. I think it's ghoulish, honestly, to see Uber put up an advertisement that says, "Don't move." You know you want me to get in an Uber right now. Otherwise, your company is going to collapse. YouTube's got this Stay at Home with Me initiative, which, again, I think is a cool idea. Stay at home, watch YouTube videos. But that's the entire point. They want you to watch YouTube videos. They want you to watch live streams. They want you to stay at home, sure, but they also want you to make the money while you stay at home. I think that's really ghoulish. Not that I would expect less from corporate America, but frustrating regardless. Of course, this may come across as a little bit hypocritical because I've made a lot of videos about the coronavirus and how it affects my life and how it's affecting me, even trying to make comedy videos about it. But again, that's what I'm trying to do. I'm talking about how it affects me. It's not the goal of making money off of it. It's not the goal of trying to put money in my pocket. I can make videos about anything that'll still get 40, 50,000 views. I want to talk about what's impacting me and what's impacting you in the hopes that it'll help. And I get that that's probably what YouTube is doing. I get that that's what Uber is trying to do. I get that's what your Jimmy Fallons and your Jimmy Kimmels are trying to do. But at the same time, it's kind of frustrating still regardless. And I get it if people are frustrated with me over it as well. I definitely want to make content that's not about the quarantining. I definitely want to make content that's uplifting and funny and distract you from the stuff by playing video games and goofing off and doing like my April Fool's video, the Francis ASMR video, stuff like that. So I plan to do that, but please forgive me if I make videos about the stuff to express my own pain, my own frustration, my own fears, and hopefully, in the process of doing that, hopefully make you feel a little bit better along the way. I don't know if you saw this video, but John Krasinski made a video called Good News or something along that lines. I watched the video. It's actually very, very good. I get that John is a very, very good YouTuber. I feel like John would make a very good YouTuber. I feel like Jack Black makes a very good YouTuber. Pretty much the opposite of Will Smith and a lot of these other celebrities who try to do this stuff. But I'll tell you what's been really fascinating to me is watching Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel and James Corden and Steve Colbert trying to do their at-home version of this. Basically trying to be YouTubers. And here's the thing. They're nowhere near as good as most of the YouTubers I watch. Their camera quality is bad. Their audio quality is bad. These are multi-millionaires who could certainly afford this $200 web camera I have and this $150 microphone I have. And instead they're using like their onboard Mac and phone. Why? I have no clue why Jimmy Fallon and Jimmy Kimmel's quality sucks so bad. But it really just goes to show you the kind of effort that people put into their YouTube videos. And then when it comes to the folks at Jimmy Fallon, Jimmy Kimmel, how they don't even understand how that effort works. The only reason people are still watching that stuff is because of habit, I think, and also because of the celebrities and the big names that are involved. But when it comes to quantity and quality, the audio's bad, the video's bad, the writing is bad. I can't believe how bad it is. And once you take away all the flash, once you take away the stage setting, once you take away the studio audience, it becomes readily apparent how bad that stuff actually is. My big concern, though, in that regard is that they're going to figure it out. They're going to learn from doing this how to make good YouTube, how to make good YouTube content. And I got to tell you, I feel like the big YouTubers I watch don't need the competition as it is. They really don't. So believe it or not, I'm actually at a point where I'm starting to get a little homebound sick. Like I'm getting a little bit of cabin fever. The good news is I still have that travel channel. If you are bored at home and you want to see some travel content, you'll find some on my travel channel. I'm going to link that down below. And while you're down there, keep in mind, I have content that I filmed in Knoxville that I still have not posted. So I have travel videos that I planned to post soon. Hopefully you'll see one in the next day or two. There's going to be some new content on that travel channel for you. Maybe you watch that stuff. Maybe it'll make you feel a little bit like you're less stuck at home. Maybe it'll give you an idea of what you want to do once all this quarantining stuff is over. One of my big concerns going into April 1st this year was that someone out there would absolutely pretend to have the coronavirus. I don't know if you saw this, but a K-pop star did do that, pretended he had the coronavirus, scaring his fans, scaring his friends and family, and then reversed it by saying he was just trying to spread awareness. I think this one, here's the thing. I'm not a very good person. I'm kind of a trash person, and I've done a lot of crappy stuff reviews in the past. Even I wouldn't sink that low. So to the K-pop star who did that, if you're lower than me, what does that say about your life choices? You made some bad life choices, buddy. But I guess they're calling for at least another 30 days of quarantining. They're saying the stay-at-home guidelines are staying until April 30th. Which is scary and kind of frustrating. And like, I don't know what a lot of people are going to do. I know a lot of people who are in my personal life are suffering. Fortunately, I'm in a position to be able to help some of those people. So I've offered to help as much as I can, making sure they have foods and supplies and the rent is paid and things along that lines. But it's just, who knows? Like this is going to have a lasting impact on, I think, financially, certainly with the stock market and everything else, financially for people personally who were living hand to mouth. But then I think also this is going to affect our culture moving forward. I think a lot of people are going to get used to spending more time at home. I think people are going to get used to being introverts. I think people are going to end up learning that they can communicate without leaving their homes. And people that learn they can work from homes will continue to work from home if possible. I think this is a huge cultural shift. I think it's one of those historic moments. If you've ever wanted to live through a historic moment, and now that at the age of 45, I've lived through several. But if you're young, this might be one of your first. So take note, pay big attention, because you'll tell your grandkids about this one day. On a personal note, I should say that this has affected the content that I want to film. I had that narrative storyline where I was working with my friends Ellis and my friends Jacob. That's not something we're willing to do right now. I'm not willing to risk getting sick. I'm not willing to risk making other people sick, so we're just not doing that for now. It means I've had to get a little more creative with the storyline and the things that I wanted to do and what I wanted to tell here on the channel. But I also have like a special gift here. My views have dropped to 50, 60,000 views, sometimes 40,000 views on an upload, which sounds like a bad thing, but in a lot of ways, it gives me a freedom to just film whatever I want to film. I feel like, once again, I'm down to my core audience, the 40 to 50, 60,000 people who will always watch almost everything I upload because you're in it for me, because you're here to support me. And I feel like you guys will watch just about anything I upload. So I'm no longer making content because I think you guys want to watch it. I'm making content that I'm passionate about, that I enjoy, that I feel good, and I think is funny. And some people find it cringy. Some people think it's desperate. Some people think it's, I don't know, I've heard a ton of criticism, but the vast majority of feedback has been very, very positive. The Francis ASMR video, the narrative storyline videos, even the rambling videos like this, the people who love this stuff love it. And I've learned a very important lesson over the years. You can't make content for people who don't like your stuff. And don't worry about the people who don't like your stuff. Worry about the people who do, and make content for yourself that you like, that you're passionate about, and the people who like that and like you will find you. So I think that's one of my biggest issues is I for a while there, I wasn't listening to enough criticism. Then I was listening to too much criticism. And now I'm just listening to my own criticism to see what I think and what I feel and being my own person. And it seems to be working. At least it seems to be working for you and me because you're watching this video and I made it. So I think we found a winning strategy. Now, if you're a big enough a fan where you made it this far into the video, I want to let you know that there's going to be a Discord server down below. It's not an official Discord server. It's not the Boogie Discord server. Consider it a temporary Discord server for the quarantine stuff. Like if you are bored, if you are lonely, if you want to reach out to me, or more specifically, you want to reach out to other fans and talk to them, this is your opportunity to do so. There's going to be a link in the description box below. Just go ahead and click that link. You can hop on that Discord server. I will be on there very, very rarely, maybe once a week, but this is an opportunity to connect with other Boogie fans, and I'm sure there'll be a fair amount of Boogie haters too, but feel free to just block those people or listen to what they have to say, up to you. But Discord link down below. Go make friends. Don't be alone. You don't have to be alone if you don't want to be. And one last thing, if you've watched my rambling series before, I did a lot more griping in this video. I put a lot more negativity into it, so I want to leave you with a much more positive message. I am going to gripe about stuff more because I'm no longer the optimistic, super happy person that I was 2 or 3 years ago. These days I'm a bit more of a pessimist, and I think it makes sense considering what I've gone through over the last couple of years and the state of the world and everything else, but I'm always going to be a hopeful pessimist. I'm always going to hope for the best, root for the best, pray for the best, and hope that whatever happens, it turns out for the best. But it doesn't mean that I'm not going to complain from time to time because I got a lot of stuff to complain about. So I hope that for those of you who are here for the optimism, I hope that you'll bear with the complaints so that we can look for the good in those bad things. That said, I want that to be the keyword for the week. If you made it all the way to the end of this video, are you an optimist? Do you see the glass as half full or do you see the glass as half empty? Are you a pessimist? Use either the word optimist or pessimist in your comment down below. I will be reading comments as I always do. I'd love to see, are you an optimist or a pessimist? How do you think all this is going to turn out? Are you looking at it positively or are you looking at it negatively? Here's what I can tell you though. The world may change. The world may be different, but we're mostly all going to be okay. Keep your fingers crossed. Stay at home with me if you can. Let's play some video games. Let's talk on Discord. Let's stay safe. And more importantly, let's keep the essential workers and the other people in the world safe while we do so. Guys, as always, thanks for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon.